It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Ace, thanks for the blast from the past. The Hoodoo Gurus. Saw them in Omaha, Nebraska, the now defunct Peony Park. They opened for the Bengals. Susanna Hoff and the Bengals the same night. Get it on.
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
All right. We're into the championship of March Madness.
It's here. Today, we crown the champion of March Madness. After 30 brutal brackets, we're left with 2 topics standing. A recap. The LA Marathon lived up to its name, going the distance through leaf blowers, graffiti, and Barbara Ferrer to capture the California Conference, and then popping the hopes of pop culture conference champ DJ Khaled. And the TSA terrorized the competition from the big government conference, denying entry to Kamala Harris, AOC, and teachers' unions before sending Classics Conference champion backup beepers back to the showers. And now, for all the marbles in the NCAA, National Championship of Adam's Anger, it's the LA Marathon versus the TSA.
Well, first the TSA. Really think about it. We're going to take the dumbest people you went to high school with. The ones who took the GEDs, the one that never took the SATs, the ones who got into fistfights with cafeteria workers, and we're going to put them in charge of preventing the next 9/11. The dumbest people you went to high school with are now fucking strip searching you with a wand when you go to LAX. And then one time I went to Clear, and I was like, why are they so nice at Clear? Why do they have their shit together at Clear? What's so different about Clear? They're 5 feet away from the TSA. It's like Israel being next to Palestine. What are these people doing right versus the savages? Oh, it turns out they're a private company. Oh, that's why they're so nice. Well, here's the deal. Their lunch breaks should be spent with TSA and Clear guys commingling in the same lunchroom, like one of those 90s movies where Amanda Bynes wants to be a princess, but she needs to be tutored! LA Marathon. First off, you tape your nipples. I don't want to be involved with any sport where there's tape put on the nipples. Who are you, Wendy O. Williams from the Plasmatics? Google that shit. And how about the people with the stickers on their bumper? 26.2 miles. It's on a car. Do you like driving or do you like running? Which is it, bitch? I got a Prius, but I don't put a fucking gun rack on it. It's the same goddamn logic. Look, I'm going to solve this problem. You may have your marathons. I don't like the randomness. When is it? Oh, fuck, it's this Sunday. I got to get downtown. We're all fucked. Every marathon, every major city, all held on New Year's Day. New Year's Day. No one's working. No one's shopping. No one's got shit to do. We all fucking ate too much. We slept till goddamn noon. Go fucking prove your resolution to yourself on New Year's Day, and we'll never be confused again.
North Carolina and Kansas, baby.
Yeah, exactly. I was afraid of one team not showing up and just having a blowout, waltzing to victory, cutting down the nets with 2 minutes left. We didn't get it. We got a game.
No, we did. That said, I feel like somebody really pulled ahead in the 11th hour.
Yeah.
I get that. I get the beef with TSA. I hate TSA too. I love Clear. But LA Marathon continues to be so majestic.
Giving.
Yes, with everything. He comes up between the homeless running in their own race, and pushing them off the pier at the end, to running on New Year's Day.
Yeah.
That's perfect. I won't go, but Andy can run.
The innovation in the fourth quarter really pulled away. And frankly, I was more entertained by marathons.
Same. I think we have a winner.
Congratulations to this year's winner.
LA Marathon.
Congratulations to the LA Marathon. the 2022 National Championship of Adam's Anger Tournament champion. Thanks to everyone who played at home, and we hope you kept your bracket, as many of these warriors will face off again next year in March Madness.
All right. Well,
Well
I'm
done.
gassed.
Championship
Thank
effort.
you.
Championship effort.
Your
Thank
glasses
you.
are all fogged up and everything.
My head got hot, man. All the blood went up to my
Sure.
forehead. All right, so I get a little respite here with the trending topics and
Yeah.
Maxipata.
Oh, yeah. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Maxipata, 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 oh, Maxipata.
Rock me, Maxipata.
Well, he stands no more than 5'3". This puffy-head, horny, hungry Asian pygmy road trips with Carolla and sleeps in a drawer. Heard he's good with the ladies, Filipino man whore. Took a school bus trip all around the state. He got a big appetite, likes to clean his plate. His real name's Laksamana, but not to Adam. So we changed that shit up. Now we call him Maxipata. Maxipata, 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 Maxipata.
All right, so this first story I want to do, it's been pushed a couple of times, but I really want to get to it because I want to hear your thoughts. So there are these Tesla meetups, like Tesla owners. I mean, Gary has a Tesla, and he's in like Facebook groups. They all like each other. They're all friends, and they have meetups to show off their. I mean, yeah, obviously their Teslas.
Hey, you
and
got the same car, man. You
Yeah.
got the same car. Hey.
do you feel
Is that how it
kinship
goes?
with people with the same car as you?
I mean, obviously, with Subaru owners,
Subaru,
we're
yeah.
down.
Actually,
yeah.
that's a good point.
It's a motorcycle thing. Look, I mean, I do with Priuses, and that means I love half of LA. But I if a Prius cuts me off, I'm going, all right, man, it's cool.
But a meetup
Brother.
is like, isn't that just for like vintage muscle cars? The meetup at like Bob's Big Boy?
They have like cars and coffee that
Yeah.
are always Sunday mornings at wherever around
You don't think of
Malibu and
that
LA.
with Tesla.
Yeah, and also Tesla.
4 models.
See, like back in the day, you'd have the car, and then you'd have the guy walk up to the car, and he'd go, "Oh, you went with the Holly double pumper? That's cool." And I put some hooker headers on here too, and then I went with a coilover suspension in the rear. This is like I used my iPhone and got an upgrade in the suspension. Like it's all this stuff is downloaded. All this
Right.
I went with no badge and a red tee.
stuff. Yeah, right.
I see you reupholstered your frunk.
I had my.
You talking to me?
I had the door handles. I had them shrink wrapped, flat black. It's like I've seen a lot of those, by the way. Leave the fucking look. Elon Musk is a genius. He knew what he was doing. He wanted his door handles the same color as the car. Walk away.
Yeah.
He knows more than you.
Yeah. So did you skip the whole cars and coffee thing after you got rich and got all your cars? Did you
Well,
ever get into
the
that
first
scene?
deal breaker to the cars and the coffee is the meetup is the Starbucks in Malibu at 6 a.m. on Sunday. That's
Rough.
number one. Number two, any car worth its salt is louder than shit, which means you're backing out of the garage at 5:10 on a Sunday.
They love that shit.
Anyone who's a neighbor of anyone who's a devout cars and coffee guy there should be a class action lawsuit. Like you fucking miserable guys firing up his, bucket tea with the open headers at fucking 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So no. And then also I just never felt the need. I'm not a club guy. I like going to the vintage races. I like seeing what everyone's bringing out. I like seeing that stuff. The cars and coffee, some cool stuff in there, but a lot of just guys. Look, it's sort of like it's sort of like cribs. It's like Little Wayne's got enough to afford a Lamborghini Aventador, and it's black. There it is. And anyone with money could get that car. There's nothing. There's no story behind it. It's not that interesting. It's just I have made money. I can buy this car. It's basically the car version of a Rolex. I got a bunch of money. I can spend 18 grand on a watch.
Yeah.
It's not interesting to
Dog
me.
whistle.
Yeah.
Dog
I'm
whistle.
the same way because I've been to many car shows with you, and they've been the most prestigious car shows in the world. So when I do see other car shows around town, I'm not impressed.
Doesn't move the
It
needle.
doesn't. Yeah, it's like I was just at the Playboy Mansion with Adam, and then I go
Yeah.
walk into like a Victoria's Secret or
It's
something.
like getting started on fine wine. Work your way up into that shit. Enjoy the cheap
Yeah.
stuff for as long as you can.
I've been ruined. So anyway, there's a clandestine Tesla meetup one night, and some guy decided to get into a 2018 Tesla S BLM, and this video was viral. 'Cause-
Is
Yeah,
that-
maybe it's a color or something. Maybe it's
No.
like black or something. I don't
Black
know.
metallic.
But anyway, so this guy's like, there's a street in LA called Baxter Street.
Oh, like downtown.
Yeah, it's a huge hill.
Yeah.
And these things have a lot of torque, these Teslas. And this guy's like, I'm gonna jump Baxter Hill.
wow.
Yeah.
Like a Duke boy.
Yeah. So let's take a look at it.
He went for it.
He
this
went
dude.
for it. He went for it. Here we go.
It's just the top of a street.
Oh,
He just-
he's got serious air. Oh,
I
my
mean, he
God.
traveled 150 feet, got 25 feet, 15 feet in the air. I mean, he just launched it.
But
Yeah.
comes down on the
Yeah.
front bumper, basically.
Yeah.
and this is 12:10 a.m.
He was 8 to 10 degrees away from going ass over tea
Yeah.
kettle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
Oh yeah. He nose first crashed into a Subaru.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean that we know that your brethren.
Share the love.
So
Did he rent that Tesla?
yeah. So it exactly. So
He
it,
paid the insurance $5
police
a day.
said that it was a rental vehicle, but they have no idea who did it, and they still haven't caught the person.
But how do you
Yep.
do that when you have to turn it in? Like
Well, yeah.
a long-term rent?
Somebody's name is on that.
That's what I thought too. But I guess that person wasn't driving
The
it.
Dropbox
So
for keys.
Oh.
yeah, nobody's saying anything. And so anyway, there's this guy who got hit with the Subaru, or whose Subaru got hit, gets up, sees a Subaru. He had to go fund me. His name's Jordan.
Trying to figure out where we're at. He has insurance. His car's parked on the street, but he started a GoFundMe page.
Yeah.
What do we think?
Like, where's it at?
I wouldn't have thought to start a GoFundMe page.
No.
I've had a car hit and run. It's just like, oh, now it's just, you got to take care of your shit.
I've had 2 of them. And you don't get the price, but you get something.
Yeah, well, it depends. Sometimes if the car's totaled, you'll actually do better. Depending, I've had friends who's had that happen to. But
so there
then
he
he
is.
started. Look at him. There's the Subaru owner. All right.
He's already raised the price of a Subaru.
Yeah, he reached his
a
goal.
standard.
He got the 23K.
Yeah, I got the 23K because he said his
That's
Subaru.
a lot of lease payments.
It's a lot of deductible.
That's
man.
an old Subaru, though. Look at that.
I know.
Yeah,
That
no badges.
I don't
on
know
the
what
end.
year Subaru is. Gina could probably check her laminate in her purse. But I mean, that thing's got to be 15, 20 years
Yeah.
old.
Yeah, that boxy style. They don't do that
boxers.
now.
Street value on an old ass Subaru is $3,700. All right.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, so he said it couldn't be turned or driven. Obviously, he got his
Subarus
money.
weren't meant to be driven. They're meant to be seen.
And he said the cops are going to do nothing about it because it's property damage. No one was hurt. Of course, if someone was hurt, they'd do something about it, but then it'd be too late. So, yeah, people just weren't happy with how the cops ended up handling it, which is like, we can't find the guy. If you have a tip, here's a reward. But
I still say it's between him and his insurance company. But he was kind of working. I heard him interviewed on TMZ. I think he was trying to work this psychological, emotional damage. Where it's like, now I'm scared to park
Now
on the
what?
street.
Yeah.
A Subaru may swoop down. I mean, a Tesla may swoop down from the sky and crush me.
Bird of prey.
it's happened once.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not impossible. So did you ever do anything like that? Like jump? We used to jump Zuzu troopers in the just in like the gutters or like of streets, like in intersections, and you would get air on those. And then I remember one time we tried it in my friend's Nissan Altima, and it just happened like that. Our nose just hit the ground, and like his speedometer needle got messed up. Yeah, and his car got jacked up. I mean, teenagers are dumb.
Boys are dumb,
We're
man.
dumb.
There was a set of train tracks on Chandler and an intersection.
Oh, no,
maybe it was even Chandler and Laurel. No.
Now the bike path, the Chandler bike path. Now it's very
but
pretty.
there was just train tracks,
Yeah.
and it was this raised train track, and it made this nice hump. And I may have been the day after I got my license. I was driving my dad's VW Rabbit, and my buddy Chris is in the car, and we're kind of coming at it. And I just yelled like, "Hang on, Starsky!" I remember just yelling that. Dropped the gear, got some air.
Nice.
The problem is when I was coming down, there was a car that was turning left in front of us.
Oh, boy.
So I literally slammed the brakes on while we were still in the air and just hit the ground and locked up
That's how that
and
works.
turned and kind of learned my car jumping lesson at that point. But the train tracks are good.
Train tracks.
They're raised.
Yeah. and even more dangerous with oncoming train. And these hills, like in LA, they're so steep. When you're driving, you can't see the other side.
No.
Like
There's
the
a
very
couple.
last second.
There's a couple in Silver Lake
Yeah,
that you
totally.
could definitely catch some air on if you needed to.
Yeah, we used to take trash can bins and race and like just get inside of them and ride them down these hills.
Oh yeah, a lot of found fun back
Yeah,
in the
we
day.
had to.
I don't think people want to do weird shit in cars. We used to have a VW bus, and there was dirt Mulholland, and we'd put 8 people in there and go like off-roading on dirt Mulholland, which again they probably paved, but there was a lot of just sort of rowdy fun to be had. It was back when they had vacant lots.
Yeah.
Vacant lots didn't have fences around them, like construction fences. They were just the vacant lot. And then you'd build a jump and a ramp and a whatever, and you'd kind of meet up at the vacant lot.
I feel like maybe Jackass is the reason because A, it's satiating to see someone else do it, and B, it's a cautionary tale. Now you know what happens. Like you're gonna get your balls electrocuted and you don't know what happens.
You're gonna be famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be part of Sonny Natalia's future out. And plus, one of the biggest moves in cars is the e-brake was where the e-brake was.
Yeah.
The e-brake was down where the stick shift was. So you could get going, drop a gear, and then e-brake it and slide around a corner. Now the e-brake is like electronic, and there's a button. It's just
Goes
Mine's
automatically
mine's a
half the
pedal.
time.
Yeah,
a
with the
pedal.
clutch
It's
pedal,
no
yeah.
good.
Yeah. Adam taught me a secret, like when you see the cop with the radar gun, hit the e-brake so your brake lights don't go off. And you can lose a little
Scrub
MPH
off a
from
little
there.
speed. Yeah, if he's behind you.
Interesting.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah.
want to see you. If you punch, if you're just going down the middle of the 405 and there's no traffic and all of a sudden you stab at the brakes, that
They
means...
know.
That's,
Give
yeah, it's
away.
basically
Saw.
like, hey, look at me.
Yeah, I like to do the e-brake.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh,
you.
speaking of that, I sent Kane this video too. This car had this custom modification on. I took a video of it because I found it quite annoying. That whenever he turned his turn signal, it was a pickup truck. His brake light would just flash. So look at this. Is
Oh,
that
yeah.
illegal? Like what? I had
That's
to
no
drive
good.
behind that guy
The
every
third-
time,
yeah.
and every time he hit his brake, everything would just flash for a
It's
bunch of times.
strobe.
Yeah, it's strobe.
it
and
looks
that's
like a-
6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it looks like a deer light. I mean, it's like really
Yeah,
powerful.
whenever he hit the turn signal.
You could have
a
if
seizure.
if you're epileptic, that could send you into a seizure. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a weird one.
Yeah, I don't like those.
I agree.
All right, let's get into this next story here. So, police officer in Georgia resigned because a TikToker videotaped him or filmed him on his phone with a woman performing sexual acts on him. So this guy just likes to climb towers. So he just was climbing a tower, and he zooms in on this cop
How's a zoom on
engaging
this thing?
in sexual activity with a woman. And he posted it, and it got millions and millions of views
Wow.
on TikTok. The caption was "Police caught on cam."
Well,
Hashtag tower climbers.
we need some context. Was she speeding? I mean, was there an infraction
I
here?
know,
Was
that's-
there
Tit for tat?
something to work off?
They couldn't get
Debt
an
to
interview.
society?
He was too high on the tower. They couldn't hear him
Oh.
when he was asking his questions.
How do they know? I can't tell by the video that she was performing something on him.
Well, he admitted it afterward too. Well, so 16 million views. All right, so
Wow.
a lot of people saw this, and over that actually. And then, so he told the news outlet that the chief told the news outlet that he planned to meet the Thompson, that's the officer in the video, about the video, but the cop quit before the meeting.
Oh boy.
Sad.
Yeah, and
Can't we arrest the guy who unlawfully climbed the tower?
it's illegal.
feel that's pretty illegal. There's got to be some sign up at the bottom of the tower
that's-
saying,
he
"Hey,
was
man."
high up there.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but then this officer's other charges started making light into the public. Like in 2017, he shot another officer in the arm in what an incident report called an accidental discharge, and he reportedly he reportedly claimed he was cleaning his gun when it got jammed and fired. And last year, a woman who had previously been in a relationship with him told police that he'd been harassing her. He admitted to running her car tags and getting her new address, and was suspended for 2 days without pay.
This guy's like Harvey Keitel.
Bad lieutenant.
Yeah, just I mean, he's a cop. Might as
But
well use your
if I know
resources.
cops, priests, or school teachers, they're just going to move to the next town over and get a job as a cop.
Yeah.
That's cops, school teachers, and pedophile priests. We just go, we're
Shuffle
done
them.
with you here, but
On
you
to
can
the
go
next.
work at the next parish.
So, I mean, I don't know what this does for outdoor sex, but knowing that people have videos and cameras on them all the
Makes it
time,
more
I could
exciting.
see it either makes it more exciting, or I feel like we're going to see less of it.
He must have, the guy in the tower must have seen the cop car pull up, maybe thinking it was for him, and then seen like the chick get out of the car and like
Right.
walk into the cop car, right? I mean,
Yeah.
otherwise it's a
well,
weird context.
Well, it was. I mean, it was weird because it was a cemetery. So yeah. it's
Wow.
yeah.
Haunted.
Kink.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. There's so many levels to that, but TikTok could get you fired, or at least have you quit before getting fired. I quit. Funeral.
Do you guys want to live in a land where accidentally shooting a fellow law enforcement colleague doesn't get you fired, but getting a little roadhead gets you cast out of the academy? I'd
question.
much rather keep the guy who got blown versus the guy who shot the other person in the fleshy part of the arm.
There
Yeah.
needs to be a hierarchy.
Me
of,
too.
Infractions.
Yeah, their priorities are a little mixed up there. Well, speaking of cemeteries, a funeral happened recently with rapper GNU. I
Yeah.
believe that's his name, GNU. 24-year-old. He was shot in the back after. They believed it was after a robbery. They said that he gave the robber his stuff, and then when he turned around, the guy still shot him in the back anyway.
What the hell has
Yeah.
happened to
No
the
honor.
code?
No,
man?
there's no code, right? Like, I don't know if someone's gonna have me do like, hey, give me all your stuff. I'm like, how do I know you're still not gonna
right.
shoot me?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You don't.
You don't.
Shot him in the back.
Shot him in the back.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Terrible. Well, anyway, he had his funeral at a nightclub in D.C. The funeral was called The Final Show, and the club was called the Bliss Nightclub. And what happened is they took the rapper's embalmed corpse, and they dressed it up, put a crown on him, and here you can see.
Oh my God.
And
It is
he's not in a
macabre.
casket. They actually had him up. While the lights are going, people are dancing. Not everybody's dancing. Some people are kind of weirded out by
He
it.
had
I
him
guess,
hung up on the wall.
Yeah.
Standing up
And he
on
was just
stage.
Perched. I don't know if you have this, but the mom and sister were like, he specifically said he didn't want to be buried in a suit if he ever died because that's not what he's about. So they put him in a sweatsuit, and they wanted him above the crowd, looking down on everyone.
Yeah.
But I agree with that. But then when the whole lap dance part of it, that's when
That
they
took it
crossed
too
the
Very
line.
stiff.
I said, now
I think so,
with
too.
the mom
Yeah.
out
So,
there.
so the club didn't know they were going to do that. Oh,
Yeah, shot in the back.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the club. You can't tell the club everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm renting it out for the night, full
Yeah.
stop.
yeah.
You're right.
Wow.
And this is like,
Ask for forgiveness later.
I feel like we see this a lot in, I'm going to take like Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, like where there's these like basically full scale dioramas instead of caskets.
Yeah.
You know, like he's sitting upright at the poker table.
Well, there's the weird, I don't know, there's the Russian one where it's a clear coffin. Maybe it's Russia's. Other places where they'll put you in the clear lucite
Right.
one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Could be a COVID thing. I don't know.
It could be,
But
man.
there's
Lucite's killing
other
it.
countries where they put you in the clear one and then put you on the back of the wagon and just bring you all the way through town with that. All right. In order to do embalming, you got to be like licensed and bonded, right?
I was going to say it's going to be a health
feel
code
like
violation. Yeah.
that's not a side hustle. That's a gig, you know.
Yeah.
And then when you do, there's a lot of protocol about
Yeah.
who am I releasing this body to? I
Sure.
need the coroner here or the deputy something. Seems weird just to do the process and then go, yeah, we need
Drop him off at bounce.
we need our guy back. And
Yeah.
they're like, do the seats fold down in the SUV? Like, we'll help you out. Like, how do you get the body?
Yeah.
That's a good
It's a
question.
health code violation.
That's
for
a
sure. I hope
that's
there's
a-
no buffet.
I think that's a grease the palm
Yeah,
kind of.
totally.
You show up with a wad and peel off some 20s and tell Quincy to look the other way.
Yeah.
Right.
You know
Okay.
somebody knows somebody. but
Right.
yeah, just super odd.
Yes.
And but rest in peace, GNU.
Yeah.
And lastly, Amazon has been trending. Now, with Elon Musk buying a good stock, a good piece of Twitter, and we have Jeff Bezos. These guys are just taking over the world. Are we welcoming our corporate overlords now?
I mean, they're already here.
They're already here.
Yeah, so what's the point?
I have a question, and this is truly coming from a naive place. You know how in like Russia and everything, we've been talking a lot about oligarchs and sanctions. If an oligarch really just means billionaire with political sway, don't we have oligarch? Isn't Jeff Bezos an oligarch? Isn't Elon Musk an oligarch?
Everyone's out trying to sway things these days. My feeling is if you want to buy a yacht and put strippers on it, fine, it's your money. But if you want to explore space and find some sort of battery pack, invent some battery pack that all single-family residents can store energy in their house, or if you're going, people suspect he's going to Twitter to try to open it back up to a more free dialogue platform. If you're going to do that stuff, then I got time for you. Like, I'm fine. Elon seems like that's the path he goes down.
I'm admittedly ignorant when it comes to business aspects like this, but he's a less than 10% owner of the company. Granted, he's the largest shareholder, but it's a publicly traded company. There's like a board of directors,
right.
And like he can't just he's not the CEO. He can't just make sweeping changes. He owns a lot of the company, of course, but there's got to be severe limits
it's
to what he can do.
more about if he decides to sell stock, then it will tank and fuck things up. So he has a lot more say, even with that small percentage.
I got you. It's more punitive. It's like, or threatening. Like, I could destroy
I think it's I got some new thoughts and directions this company could go, and if they go fuck off, then he's going to go, and I'm just going to dump my stock and leave, and I will tank your stock price on the way out.
Yeah, it's weird that he would tweet like, hey, do you guys want to see like an edit button, if he didn't really have any power at all to do stuff like that.
Well, I actually have that for news, and apparently they've been working on an edit button for a long time. So, but it sounds, we've talked a lot about Elon being like, the greatest showman, and one of the guys at Twitter even said like, we've been working on this for a year. It's not from the poll you just saw, wink, wink. So I think he does like to take, sweeping credit for things.
All right. Should we bring it home?
Sure. Check out the Water Cooler podcast, everybody.
I used to check it out from Matt.
You got some JB Weld news over there?
Yeah. So I have been working on my house, and we want to take submissions from listeners. So if any of the listeners have been using JB Weld, email us questions@adamcarolla.com and with the subject JB Weld, and send us a video or a story of how you've been using JB Weld, and we'll share it on the show. Here's the time that I used it on my liquor cabinet, and I took a video.
Oh, beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Things huge. You sleep there?
The studio apartment.
Yeah.
From my house, this is a cabinet that we got right when we moved in. A friend was looking to get rid of it, so
would want to get rid of that.
It was this weird blue color, so we decided to paint it green and make it our liquor cabinet. The only thing is, it didn't come with any knobs. Those gold knobs there were just holes. So we went to the store, got some ones we liked, but the holes were a lot bigger than the screws. So in order to fix that, I took JB Weld's Quick Wood, and it's like this putty in a tube. I was able to roll it up, and just using my fingers, I filled the holes with the Quick Wood and let it set. And then once it hardened, I took a drill and I drilled right through it.
Look at you!
And now I was able to get these knobs in there with the screws and tighten it up, and can't even tell. Just got to paint it, but works perfectly. And I now have a knob to open my liquor cabinet. Thanks, JB Weld.
Well, you can get to your booze. The holes.
Is it a pole? I don't know.
A pole. The holes were yoked
pole
out.
Hole?
All right.
Albert.
Let me tell you about JB Weld. That is the world's strongest bond. It's a brand DIYers and pros have trusted for over 50 years. I always used JB Weld back in my garage wrenching days because I used their product originally on metal for like repairing mufflers and exhaust pipes and stuff like that. But now they've expanded. They got the super glues, the putty sticks, probably what Max Zapata used over there.
Yeah, it's a Quick Wood. It was like putty, but you could just roll it up in your fingers. And I didn't mention this in the video, but I did sand it as well, Adam.
Sweet.
Yeah.
And it's good for any surface, practically. Metal, wood, plastics, glass, and ceramics as well. You keep it in your kitchen drawer, toolbox, or wherever you keep your craft supplies as well. And I got it in my garage. I got it in the shop. I have it everywhere. Also, they're the proud owner of Herculiner, the original DIY truck bed liner. So if you want to do it yourself, you go with Herculiner. If you're looking for the world's strongest bed liner, Herculiner has you covered. JB Weld is available at jbweld.com, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, AutoZone, Advance Auto Part, O'Reilly, Amazon, Michaels, and more. And it is proudly made in the U.S. of A. It is JB Weld. All right, Alicia Cuthbert is going to... Is it Alicia? Alicia.
Yeah.
Sorry. I know what her name is. I screwed it up. That's the problem.
You met her in Loveline in 04.
Years ago. Wait a minute, was I there? Oh, yeah, I was there in 04. Yeah, Alicia.
Was I not there?
I know.
Cuthbert is going to join us right after this. It's kind of like
people ideas. Like, oh, look at that guy.
Yeah, I don't just take it off their porch.
Yeah, it's like watching animals fuck, and they just don't care.
Go on.
Well, you could get your fucking camera out and film it all you want. They're balls deep in
another penguin.
Another penguin.
I don't know.
Penguin?
I don't know.
I don't know how penguins fuck.
I don't know.